Sanu. All right, agents, welcome. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to dive headfirst into the world of numbers, a world where, trust me, things are not always what they seem. So think about it for a second. Nigerian oil output, wake pass rates, and a good plate of fufu. What on earth could connect all three? They seem totally different, right? Well, here's the secret. There's a language that connects them all, and that language is fractions. They are the ultimate disguise artists of the math world, and our job today is to see right through every single one of their tricks. That's right. For this mission, I want you to imagine you're an elite agent working for the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics. Your job? To take all this messy, confusing data from all over the country and actually make sense of it. And to do that, you've got to understand how a single number can wear a bunch of different masks. Okay, let's open up the mission briefing. There are two core secrets we need to unlock today. First, we have what I call the transformation trick. This is all about learning how to change a fraction's disguise whenever you want. And second, there's the puzzle solver skill. This is where we take that trick and use it to crack some really tough real-world challenges. So, let's get our gear ready. First up, we need to build out our agent's toolkit. This is all about mastering secret number 1, the transformation trick. Once you've got these skills down, I promise you, no number will ever be able to hide its true identity from you again. So our first tool is the decimal. Think of this as your high-precision gadget, It's perfect for when you need to be absolutely exact. So imagine Mama Nkechi wants to share 5 loaves of his bread perfectly among each children. A fraction is good, yeah, but a decimal gives you that pinpoint accuracy. So how do we get it? The rule is actually super simple. To unmask a fraction and see the decimal hiding underneath, you just divide the top number, that's the numerator, by the bottom number, the denominator. So for our bread problem, that's just 5 divided by 8. And there it is, 0.625. Each child gets exactly that much bread. No arguments, no fuss. It's simple, it's precise, and it's a really powerful tool to have in your kit. Okay, 1 disguise down, 2 more to go. Next up, percentages. Now this disguises everywhere in Nigeria. I mean, you see it with bank interest rates, the big discount signs during Sala sales, everywhere. A percentage is really just a special way of saying out of 100. So let's say in your JSS2 class, 15 out of 25 students pass the big math test. What's that as a percentage? And the rule for this one? It's a piece of cake. To turn that fraction, 15 over 25, into a percentage, you just multiply it by 100%. It's a really direct, powerful way to convert it. And boom, 60%. 60% of the class passed. See how that works? By changing the fraction's disguise, we get a number that everyone can understand instantly. That's the real power of using a percentage. The final disguise in our mean toolkit is the ratio. Now, ratios are all about comparison. How much of this do you need for that much of that? You use them all the time, maybe without even realizing it, when you're mixing cement and sand, or even more importantly, when you're making that perfect bowl of Gary. So let's say the recipe calls for 2 parts water for every 3 parts Gary. You're going to love this, because turning a fraction into a ratio is maybe the easiest trick in the book. A fraction, like 2/3 or 2 over 3, is already showing you a relationship. The ratio just makes that comparison super clear. The top number becomes the first part of the ratio, and the bottom number becomes the second. So that fraction 2/3 becomes the ratio 2:3. And this tells us the relationship perfectly. For every 2 cups of water, you need 3 cups of Gari. It's a comparison, a recipe for success. It's that simple. Of course, any good agent needs an exit strategy, right? You also need to know the reverse trick, how to turn these disguises back into their original fraction form. For a decimal like 0.4, you just put it over 10 to get 4/10, which you can then simplify to 2/5. And for a percentage, even easier. You just put it over 100. Just don't forget to simplify. All right, agent, phase 1 complete. You've acquired your toolkits. You can see through any disguise a fraction tries to wear. So now it's time for the real test. Let's unlock secret number 2, the puzzle solver skill. This is where it all comes together. We're talking about quantitative reasoning, or QR. Think of these QR puzzles like your final field operations. They're messy, they're based on real-life problems where numbers are coming at you in all kinds of different disguises, and you have to use all your skills to find the one true answer. Okay, here it is. Your final assignment, straight from headquarters. A big Nigerian company did a customer survey, but their data, it's a complete mess. It's your job to get in there, decode it, and tell them which of their brands is actually the most popular. Here's the intel we've got. Brand A has 0.3 of the customers, that's a decimal. Brand B has 1/4, that's a fraction. And brand C is just the rest. You can't make a decision with numbers like this. They're all in disguise. To solve this, we need to line them up and force them all to reveal their true identities. Here's our 3-step plan of attack. First, we unify. We're going to convert all the numbers into the same format, and decimals are going to be perfect for this. Second, we calculate. We'll find the missing piece of the puzzle, that value for brand C. And finally, we compare. We'll line up the numbers and find our winner. All right, let's break it down. Step 1, unify. Brand A is already a decimal, 0.3, so that's easy. For brand B, we need to convert its fraction, 1/4. We just use our rule, 1 divided by 4 gives us 0.25. Now, step 2, calculate. We add brand A and brand B together, so 0.3 plus 0.25 gives us 0.55. Since all the customers together make a whole, or 1, we just subtract that 0.55 from 1 to find brand C's share, which is 0.45. Now for the final step, compare. We've got 0.30, 0.25, and 0.45. It's not even close. Brand C is the clear winner. Mission accomplished. So, let's debrief. What you've just learned to do, that's not just some math trick. It's a real-world superpower. You've learned how to look at scattered, confusing information and find the clear, simple story that's hiding inside. And this is the most crucial takeaway. You now have the power to see the single story behind different numbers. It doesn't matter if it's a decimal, a percentage, or a ratio. You know that underneath the disguise, it's all just a piece of a whole. And now you can actually compare them accurately. And hey, this isn't just some fun spy game we've been playing. This exact skill, being able to solve these kinds of quantitative reasoning problems, is a core part of the official JSS2 curriculum. You've basically just trained for and completed a major objective of your math education. So you've proven you have what it takes. You can see through the disguises, you can solve the puzzle. So my final question for you is, what's next? What numbers out there in your world, in the news, at the market, in your favorite sport, are hiding a story that only you can now uncover? The mission is all yours now.